Hi everyone, we're a sales family, Tracy, Brendan and Jake. This is about the child. This blog is about child organisations manipulating the Child and Young Persons Care and Protection Act 1998. Now I'm not going to mention the child organisations' names that have been involved, but we think it's not just one child organisation doing this to all families in Australia, and we don't just think it's happening just in our country. It's happening around the world. Now that's disturbing. Our child organisations can and have been manipulating the Child and Young Persons Care and Protection Act 1998 for these organisations' advantage. Would you like to add something to that, Dale?
Well, I would, because it has been co-founded and been happening for 155 years. And I don't want people to feel trapped. They don't know where to begin, so I think we can band together, and it's about time they were put in their place, a good shake-up.
We've just been through our recent kinship assessment process, and it was refused due to one of these organisations manipulating the CYP Care and Protection Act 1998, and due to their malpractice after their first group meeting, whatever concerns, risks that were brought forward from that group meeting, and never asked for us for any documentation, evidence to provide them to be able to mitigate these concerns, risks in their second group meeting. Would you like to add anything to that, Dale?
We're not the only ones that have failed assessments, because it leads to further on of them getting a clasp and making final orders. Then basically you don't have a chance because they don't explain the processes. For example, we've had basically not much face-to-face time and video calls. I would call them scraps. And yet we're not the criminals. They were taken away from an unsafe environment. Look at our past and culture. We'd be there for family. Now we're controlled, and the way they do it is behind your back, and they seal it with paperwork.
Now we have started up a paper petition where we live, and when people sign our petition and they tell us their story and what they have been through with these child organisations and what they were put through, and some have gone through a lot worse than us, if not the same, with these child organisations due to these families, is done disgraceful.
I would like to add to that. A lot of people, and they don't know where to go. The treatment goes beyond manipulation, it goes to intimidation, bullying, as they say observing, I say stalked. And for two people in the town we are, they even stalked us and closed down this child organisation for a whole day, which held families back. Go dog.
Now some of these people have told us that due to this manipulation of the Child Care and Protection Act with these child organisations, that most families have been going through the children's court between 2 and up to 11 years fighting for their children, grandchildren. And recently we spoke to a parent, and he told us that his son just came home to live with him, and his son just turned 18 years of age. Now that is darn disgraceful. Now that is disgusting and downright appalling for child organisations that they say they want to help children and not keep them away from families just for their successful adoptions that they receive a grant from. As these child organisations say, they preferably with family. Would you like to add something to that, Dale?
Yes, it's all about the money. And in that particular occasion, they couldn't save one grandson, and these federations are evading that. Our second one, well, they have him, and with no directions,
about fighting for 2 to 11 years?
With the stories that we have heard, I think out of our town we've heard maybe 10 good stories to 20 maximum out of 1,070 signatures on a paper petition that we walk for. But we do have an email petition too.
Petition, yeah.
But we're doing this to make sure it's not you, it's these federations.
These child organisations, without kinship assessment, use false alleged allegations with no charges or convictions, and when you go through some very emotional, traumatic experiences, and when you go to seek help through mental health, like counsellors, psychiatrists or psychologists, to help yourself, these child organisations use this against you, saying that your mental health is concerning to look after your own child, grandchildren. That is just wrong. If you can't seek help to help yourself, and these child organisations use this against you, WTF, as well as they use your medication against you. And even if it's government approved, you just can't win with these child organisations. Would you like to add anything to that, Noel?
Yes, I do. It goes to show how petty and low that they will stoop. Not letting you provide evidence because they conceal it. And I've never known federations, police detectives, give everybody their sides. I've never known a failed kinship when an independent assessor that works through them gets failed before you receive it, so you cannot produce your evidence, and we have thousands of pages. When you seek help, never give up, because people, they say most of the time to get out of it, it's too complex. That's what it is. 2, they don't want to do it because the federations are too hard to compete with. So, that's why we started the petition and are exhausting everything we can, not just to help us, but to help others, because this has to come to a halt.
Also in our situation, there are 2 government agencies that lack the skill or judgment to remove our first grandson from an unsafe environment, which due to these 2 government agencies didn't act accordingly to the Child and Young Persons Care and Protection Act 1998, which led to our first grandson's death. And they wonder why we are concerned about our second grandson in this is in their care, and to make you think, if they did this to our grandchild, how many children or grandchildren have these government agencies have let the children perish due to their lack of knowledge, training, or is it just that, they just don't care and just do it for a paycheck each week? You want to add to that, Noel?
Basically, I don't know how they sleep at night, because these are inhuman acts for a paycheck at the end of each week. Like people say, when you do these atrocious things, you will eventually build up a barrier to it. You shut off. But remember, they're doing this to us all. And like my grandmother taught me, because my mother didn't stand up for me either. I've got adopted sisters. I suffered a traumatic life. I don't really worry about me, but I worry about others globally. All that I'd advise you is,
not just in our country,
that these associations have worked up to 155 years. Do research. But do you know what? We're going to try and come up with more things, just in case nobody's got nobody like we don't. The support isn't out there for anybody. The only people that can discuss, release, are people that have been through it. But the thing is, the people have to make a statement because it's all of us. When they go on about it's the child, it's never for the child, it's always for the money. It's like a butcher's, there's or pass the parcel if you may. They don't care about the kids, their traumatic experiences. It's what they don't take in their little bags when they have to move house. And they've got good families to come to. We've even heard about people on the petition that did have a problem, they seeked help. They put their priorities straight and they've been waiting 5 or more years. So what I have to say is we'll try and bring out some more videos to help us to help you, and maybe you can help us. If you find it a kind of support, well, I hope it helps you, because it sort of helps us to share. So don't ever blame yourself, because you do, I have, we have. And it's a very, very, very big strain, because this is our upcoming future, and with what the world's coming to, we've got to save our future. Thank you for your time.
There should be justice for innocent families that have been through something like this. What I'm saying, yeah?
There should have been justice years ago for our ancestors, but if we don't do something about it now, and they have tried, we've got to keep pushing for it. I raise my hand for foreclosure of them. What do you do with the ones that need the help? Well, it takes special people. Because people, it doesn't matter if you got checks done or not. I've been in a situation, well, with the WWC checks, children's checks if you say, national police checks, they've been working for these federations and they've been called for it, because my daughter was in that position as well. So they have to be highly watched, and when they're not recorded environments for accurate readings, and it allows for bullying to just make you disappear, to cover up the concealment of a death, and that's how you understand, wow, how do I understand that they've got the second one? And yet they want a copy of my original birth certificate to take him overseas. No way. Not after the first one. Not knowing about the rest of Australia and the people that I've met. I've had many sleepless nights. So here for justice.
We would like to know your thoughts and comments if you have been through something like this, or your family, friends have been through something like this, as there's not much help out there for families, friends, yourself. Right. Yeah. And also we have an e-petition going. I'll put a link there to that. Thanks for watching. Share this with family, friends, anyone. Thanks for your time.
We hope it doesn't happen to you.
Yeah, thank you.